Hi everyone, welcome back to Dr. Ho's Healthy Living Vlog. Today we are joined by physiotherapist Tom Swales from Concept of Movement in Barrie. Now let's say someone was in a car accident. Can you maybe explain to everyone out there why it's important for them to get to physiotherapy sooner rather than later?
Yeah, so after a car accident, there's potential trauma. The longer that this, the syndrome or this pain or this dysfunction sits in the body, the more dysfunction it creates and the more compensations that people will create.
Almost like a domino effect?
Exactly, and people coming in, they're like, I got neck pain, but it could be stemming from a shoulder issue or across to the hip or maybe all the way down to a foot.
Okay, Tom, so where should we start? What's kind of the first building block we need?
So most people, when they come in, if they've had pain or trauma, they get really guarded, especially with their breathing patterns. People will take on this locked up, protection, tense posture, aside from sitting at our desks all day, but just some of the pain and trauma, we tend to brace and hold our breath. So the breathing pattern needs to be addressed first. If we're looking at Kathy from the side, we want to make sure that her chin is lined up, relative ear to shoulder. Okay? So you're just going to do a little chin slide. It's not a crush walnuts here. It's just think of there's a little string on the back of your head. Tuck your chin down a little bit and slide your head straight back. There.
Okay.
So you might feel a little stretch in the back of the skull here. That's okay because those suboccipital muscles, they tend to get a little tight because you're living like this. The next thing you want to do is, I'm going to get you to turn this way, Kathy. When people hear posture, they automatically pop the shoulders and the chest up, but then they end up overextending their spine. So what I want you to do is feel where my fingers are and the shoulder blades, slightly pull your shoulder blades back and down. That's it. Just as a reminder, I'll get people to do this every hour, okay, for one breath. If I asked you to hold that all day, do you think you could?
No.
No, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get frustrated, and you're like, I quit, I'm not doing this. Regardless of whether you've had trauma, if you sit at a desk, set a timer, set some kind of reminder, some kind of trigger to elicit a response, and just do those little homework exercises. It makes a huge difference. From there, if people are having difficulty finding where their breathing is, so put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, breathe in through your nose, and feel what hand is moving the most. Can you tell me what hand is? Yeah, so you're using a lot of neck muscles, a lot of pec and shoulder muscles to help you breathe. If you can feel where that hand is, so breathe into the lower hand. Don't worry about breathing, there you go, okay? Even that's difficult here.
Yeah.
So because your posture is a little bit off, you're used to using these posture muscles, you're gonna default to what you can feel.
Right.
All right, so to combat this, I take people to the floor and we rebuild you from there.
Okay, let's go rebuild on the floor.
Same position, one hand on chest, one hand on belly. Take a breath in through your nose. Exhale through mouth. And already, Kathy is having an easier time breathing through her belly. Doing it with your hips, knees and hips bent is going to be easier because it'll take some of the tension out of the pelvis, which might throw the back into hyperextension. So doing this with a bent knee is ideal.
Tom, thank you so much for sharing with everyone how they can use kind of the basics of physiotherapy to start to alleviate their pain. If you guys are interested in what Tom had to say, you can learn more at www.tomswales.com, or you can always visit us at www.drhonow.com. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.